Have you ever had that moment where you realise staying quiet is no longer an option? Where you look at the profession you love and think, we can do better than this. This episode isn't a strategy session. It's not a how-to. It's a line in the sand. Because I believe HR is standing at the crossroads, and the future of work will be shaped by the leaders brave enough to put humans first. If you've ever felt the tension between what work is and what it could be, this one's for you. Welcome to Hard at Work with me, Trina Sunday. This space is for HR leaders who care deeply about performance and equally deeply about people. For more than 25 years, I've been asking one persistent question. What are the real conditions for happiness at work? Because when humans come first, something deeper shifts. How people show up, how leaders decide, and how work feels. Here, we explore what it really takes to lead with courage, compassion, and clarity, and we pull up a chair to the conversations HR leaders don't always get to have. There's heart here, but there's also depth. If you're ready to build workplaces where people and performance thrive side by side, you're in the right place. Let's get to the heart of it. There are moments in a career, and sometimes in a profession, where staying steady is no longer enough and staying quiet becomes impossible, where experience, insight, and frustration collide with possibility, where you realise the work you've been doing quietly, consistently, and passionately needs to become louder, braver, and more visible. For me, that moment arrived as Reimagine HR reached our 6th anniversary. What began as a business milestone quickly became something far more personal, a clear turning point and a renewed commitment to leading this work more boldly. It wasn't simply about marking another year in business. It was a conscious decision to step fully into the work I believe the HR profession and the future of work is calling for. Over more than 2 decades working across HR, organisational development, leadership, and global consulting, I've witnessed extraordinary HR professionals carry enormous responsibility with limited influence, clarity, or support. I've seen leaders hold organisations together during a crisis while quietly questioning their own impact. I've worked alongside teams striving to create healthier workplaces while navigating systems that often resist meaningful change. At the same time, I've seen what becomes possible when HR leaders step into courage, clarity, and influence. I've watched culture shift and leadership transform, and workplaces become environments where people and performance genuinely thrive side by side. The difference is never capability, not in my opinion anyway. The difference is often confidence, permission, and the support to lead differently. And over the years, my work's evolved into what is now heart work, a philosophy and leadership movement grounded in human-first performance, courageous leadership, and sustainable organisational change. But 2026, it represents something deeper. Firehorse is here. It represents a commitment to stepping beyond facilitation and advisory and into visible advocacy for the future of HR and the future of work. Because I believe our profession stands at a crossroads. Workplace burnout continues to rise. Leadership complexity continues to accelerate, and the expectations placed on HR continue to grow, while traditional models of influence remain completely outdated. And incremental change is not enough. The profession needs bold, courageous, human-first leadership. And I'm choosing to step in. I'm stepping forward into that space. And to help me step into that space with intention, I've written a manifesto. And the words that are going to follow are not marketing copy. They're a declaration of the work I believe is needed, the leadership I believe is possible, and the movement I'm committed to building alongside HR leaders around the world. So let me share with you my manifesto, the human-first workplace revolution. We were taught a dangerous myth that workplaces are machines and humans are the cogs, that performance matters more than people, that HR's role is to keep the wheels turning no matter the cost. This myth has consequences. It leaves HR leaders burnt out, doubting themselves and questioning their influence. It fuels cultures where well-being is an afterthought, burnout is common, and disconnection is the norm. It robs workplaces of their humanity, and it's costing lives. But I've always known a deeper truth. Freedom fuels happiness, Curiosity drives change. Connection creates belonging. Fairness unlocks potential. And compassion is the heart of humanity. When HR leads with these values, when humans come first, everything changes. Leaders grow braver, workplaces grow healthier, and the ripple flows beyond office walls into families, communities, and the wider world. This is my line in the sand. I'm here for workplaces where humans are never the collateral damage of ambition, for HR leaders who lead with courage, act with empathy, and create cultures rooted in trust and equity, for ending HR burnout and building a profession where people are proud to claim it. I see a future where HR is the beating heart of every organisation, respected, influential, equipped with the clarity, confidence, and adaptability to make lasting change, where well-being is a business metric, not an optional extra, where fewer people suffer in silence and more go home proud, valued, and energised. I empower HR leaders to be the change makers who redefine work, to build cultures where people and performance thrive side by side. If you're ready to step into that role, I'm here to give you the tools, the courage, and the confidence to make it real. Together, we'll make workplaces happier, healthier, and more human. I'm Trina Sunday, and I'm here to inspire the change the world of work desperately needs. This manifesto is not a destination, it's a commitment. For more than 20 years, this has been the lens through which I've led, advised, and built organisations. Heart work simply gives language to what's been true in my practice. 2026 is not the start of something new. It's a moment I choose to name it boldly. It's the foundation for every program I design, every organisation I partner with, every leadership experience I facilitate, and every conversation I hold with HR leaders who know that there is a better way to work. And as the firehorse approached us on the 17th of February 2026, it was a symbol of bold movement, courage, and momentum. It has coincided with the beginning of a new chapter for Trina Sunday, one where my work becomes louder in its advocacy, stronger in its challenge to outdated systems, and deeper in its commitment to equipping HR leaders with clarity, confidence, and courage to lead the transformation. The future of HR will not be defined by HR policy alone. It will be shaped by leaders willing to challenge how our work has always been done, leaders willing to prioritise humanity alongside performance, and leaders willing to hold organisations accountable for the environments they create. I believe that the future is not theoretical. I've seen it in organisations brave enough to lead differently. I've seen it in HR professionals ready to step into influence and impact. And I believe it is possible at scale. But movements are never built alone. So if you're a HR leader who feels the tension between what work is and what it could be, and if you believe workplaces can be healthier, braver, and more human, and if you're ready to step into shaping that future, then you're already part of this movement. The work ahead's ambitious, it's courageous, but it is deeply necessary. This is the next chapter of Heart Work, and it's only just the beginning. If something stirred in you while listening to this, please don't ignore it, because the future of HR won't be shaped by the loudest voices. It's going to be shaped by the bravest ones. And if you're ready to lead differently, to build workplaces where people and performance thrive side by side, here's how we can step into that together. If you're a HR leader wanting clarity, courage, and confidence in your own leadership, my coaching and the Heart Work HR Leader program is designed for exactly that. It's a game changer program for HR leaders. If your organisation's ready to stop tweaking around the edges and start transforming culture, structure, and impact, that's where my consulting and organisational design work through Reimagine HR comes in. If you want to experience this work really deeply, not just intellectually but personally, my immersive leadership experiences, including Cambodia, which is coming in November 2026, will stretch how you think about work and humanity. And if you're building influence and voice as a HR professional, I also work with leaders on speaking, visibility, and strategic positioning. Or simply start here, subscribe, share this episode, join the movement. Because it isn't a podcast about theory, it's a commitment to action. And like I said, it's only just the beginning. Thanks for spending time with me. If this conversation challenged you, clarified something, or simply reminded you that you're not the only one holding the tension between people and performance, then it's done exactly what it was meant to. This work isn't easy, but it is necessary. HR has a new future, and it leads with heart. So if you found value here, subscribe so you don't miss what's next. Share this episode with someone who also believes that work can be better. And if you want to go deeper, you can explore the Heartwork model, the programs, and the growing community of HR leaders at trinasunday.com. Because when HR leads with clarity, courage, and compassion, it doesn't just change workplaces, it changes lives. Until next time, keep asking better questions, keep backing your voice, and keep putting humanity at the center of performance. Let's keep heart at work.